And we're back at Wells Fargo here with the Iowa High School State Wrestling Championships live here on the Hy-Vee Championship Network. And Mark, 145 pounds is up next. And who do we have?
Well, in the Class 1A, we got Cael Rahnavardi of Don Bosco, Gilbertville. He's a junior, 42-4 record, and he's taking on Nick Hamilton of Underwood, who's a sophomore, 54-0. And in the Class 2A match, we got Hayden Taylor, returning state champion as a freshman. Now he's a sophomore, 51-0. He's taking on Tristan of Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont, who's a junior, 45-2. And then Class 3A, 145 pounds, is Gambrall of Iowa City West, a junior, taking on Callum of Ankeny, a senior, 35-4.
All right, and they are set to get things underway here at 145 pounds.
It's interesting. I don't think any of these guys have wrestled before yet this year. I think last year Hayden Taylor and Tristan wrestled, but nobody's wrestled this year. Hayden Taylor, the only one, as a returning state champion. He did it as a sophomore last year. Or I'm sorry, as a freshman last year, now a sophomore, going for his second. And that's the only returning one. And the only
one
senior,
title out of 6.
The only senior in this whole field, too, is Callum of Ankeny in Class 3A. He's in the white and the gold singlet in the bottom left-hand corner. He's taking on Gambrall of Iowa City West, who we've already seen one state champion in Hunter Garvin for Iowa City West.
Right, and then 3A, 145 pounds, one of those weight classes where Saturday night comes around and the finalists aren't who you expected to be here. A lot of upsets on the road to the finals. Callum, the number 3 ranked wrestler, has wrestled a steady tournament. But Gambrall from Iowa City West, boy, a couple huge upsets to get here for him. He just took care of business and knocked off some heavy dogs here on the way to this final. His brother, a 3-time finalist, 2-time champion and runner-up. Older brother, one of his older brothers. He also, Grady Gambrall, was a place winner here.
Nick Hamilton of Underwood, a 2-point takedown there on the Class 1A mat, the top left-hand corner, and he wants to go back neutral to the feet. He must feel really comfortable on his feet. He's taking on Don Bosco Gilbertville's Cael Rahnavardi. So he leads that one right now 2-1. No score, or actually, yeah, Hayden Taylor of Solon over there with a 2-1 lead. I didn't see, I was looking over in the 1A mat how he got his takedown, but he leads that one score 2-1. Again, he's taking on Tristan of Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont. Now it's over here, Callum in on a shot on Gambrall on the 3A mat, up the bottom left corner, but they go out of bounds, no points awarded.
The 1A matchup is a number 1 versus number 2 with Hamilton number 1 and Rahnavardi number 2. The interesting thing about Rahnavardi, as we mentioned in the semis last night, Mark, last year placed 4th at 170 pounds. Wrestling at 145.
Yeah, we were talking about that in the semifinals last night. That's crazy to me. Either he was a really small 170 pounder, or he's done an amazing job with his weight control and nutrition. 2A mat. First period comes to a close. There's Gambrall of Iowa City West with a 2-point takedown right there at the end of the first period on the Class 3A mat. Bottom left-hand corner of your screen. And then also right at the
a bit of a comeback for Rahnavardi there.
Yeah, Rahnavardi of Gilbertville Don Bosco gets a 2-point reversal right at the very end of the first period. So he closes the gap 4-3 as he still trails Nick Hamilton of Underwood.
Boy, in 2A last year, we really liked this Hayden Taylor. He had an outstanding tournament as a freshman. So poised, technically sound.
He was just a ferocious offensive machine. Let it all fly out there. I think in the state tournament here this year, hasn't quite been on the attack and all in the offenses and putting as many points up as what he did last year. Just a little bit timidish this year, trying to protect the title or what, but not quite the same wrestler as he was, but obviously still doing a great job if he's
good
in the finals again. Up a couple weight classes too. Didn't spend a lot of time, cutting weight this year.
Jumping from 26, where he won that title, to 45 this year. Sales, who he's wrestling, is 45-2. The junior has not placed up here at the tournament. Hamilton, again, scoring on the 1A mat.
Hamilton from Underwood in the blue singlet, top left corner of your screen. He's taking on Rahnavardi of Gilbertville Don Bosco. over there on the 3A mat, the bottom left-hand corner. Again, that's Grant Gambrell of Iowa City West, their second finalist of the night. He's taking on Sam Callum, the lone senior in this whole 145-pound field. Sam Callum in on a shot on Gambrell. That's the thing I've seen about Gambrell. He gives his opponents fits, and the fact that he's hard to score on. He's a scrambler and very kind of not unorthodox, but just can kind of just make it tough for the opponents. Not the normal feel that you would normally feel. Coaches Cody Pujol and Nate Moore, as we mentioned, inducted in the Hall of Fame earlier tonight, sitting in the corner.
For their second of 3 trips here to that seat. You know, you mentioned unorthodox. That word reminds me of Cael Rahnavardi in a way. You know, usually when you have a funky and then they get labeled funky wrestler, you have that funky style. That's your mode of operation. That's what you do. Well, I've never seen anybody, from what I've seen with Rahnavardi, he can be funky at times and get himself in strange positions, but yet he turns around and looks so in control and sound. And by the book, it's just a conflict of styles within the same wrestler. Right now, he's trailing through 2 periods by 1 point to Nick Hamilton.
Start of the 3rd period here in the Class 1A mat. Nick Hamilton going to choose the down position. Rahnavardi going to start on top. Over in the Class 2A mat, that's Hayden Taylor up 3-1. He's taking on Tristan Sales of Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont. Hayden Taylor starting in the top position. That's the top right-hand corner right now. He's in that top position. Solon on the back in the orange part of his singlet there.
Also in that 3A matchup, Mark, there's Callum on top right now with Gambrell in top position, but trailing 4-2. But those wrestlers in the finals, with Callum finishing 7th last year at 132, Gambrell 8th at 138 and 6th at 132. So they're place winners, but they've never got this far before. 2 finalists who weren't expected to be here.
There's Hayden Taylor of Solon, gets some near fall points down there in the Class 2A mat in the top right-hand corner. He got at least a 3 count, so he's gonna get 2. He's gonna be awarded two more points. Still has that same hold, so nothing changes there. Boy, these guys are in a scrap down here in this 1A mat. There, Hayden Taylor's awarded his 2 more points, so he takes a 5-1 lead in the top position with 35 seconds to go in the 3rd period of that match. Over here, 7-5 right now on the 1A mat for Nick Hamilton of Underwood.
In 3A, Gambrell picked up an escape and then worked a takedown to extend his lead, now 7-2, as they hit 1 minute left in that one. But we're down to 40 seconds in the 1A. Can Rahnavardi find anything here, or will Hamilton be able to hold him off? Looking to score himself. So Rahnavardi's got to find something here. 26 seconds left.
And Hayden Taylor's going to do it on the Class 2A mat, earning his 2nd state championship only as a sophomore.
Yeah, we've seen some of that tonight.
5-2 victory.
Several sophomores.
Coach Blake Williams over there doing a great job at Solon for the Solon Spartans. Going over here to the 1A mat.
Final 5 seconds.
Hamilton and Rahnavardi in a
2 seconds.
Rahnavardi almost scored there at the end. Hamilton hangs on there.
Whew.
Gives Coach Joe Stevens another state champion.
That is almost as close as you can get.
Wow. Boy, give credit to Rahnavardi. Hamilton came out with the first score and kept scoring, but Rahnavardi kept himself in that match and kept battling. That's the Don Bosco way right there. Those guys never say die. Congratulations right there to Nick Hamilton of Underwood, only a sophomore. Ends the season undefeated.
Callum also trying to make things happen, but just out of position there into the match. Gambrell extended the lead and gets the win.
Look at that, Grant Gambrell of Iowa City West. State champion, 145 pounds. He just went down to 145 late in the season.
Well, things have paid off for him this season. There are your winners at 145 pounds. We have to get to the break. When we come back, you will see awards given out at 138 pounds. This is the Hy-Vee Championship Network. Don't go away.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the award stand area. The award presentations at 145 pounds for all three classes is sponsored by Shields. Presenting the Class 1A awards at 145 pounds is Coach Joe Stevens. In 8th place, Jaden Knight, Mount Ayr. 7th place, Reed Abbas, Clarion Goldfield Dows. 6th place, Brody Hawtrey, North Cedar, Stenwood. 5th place, Gabe Magoo, MFL, Marmac. 4th place, Daniel Meeker, Wapello. 3rd place, Lawson Losi, Riceville. Runner-up, Cael, Rahnavardi, Don Bosco, Gilbertville. And your Class 1A champion at 145 pounds from Underwood, Nick Hamilton. Presenting the Class 2A awards, assistant coach TJ Bevins. In 8th place, Jackson Rolfs, Decorah. 7th place, Jack West, Winterset. 6th place, Nicholas Bockenstead, North Polk. 5th place, Jake Neiman, OABCIG. 4th place, Emery Colby, Panorama. 3rd place, Jack Thompson, Union, LaPorte City. Runner-up, Trestin Sales, Eddyville-Blakesburg-Fremont. In your Class 2A champion at 145 from Solon, Hayden Taylor. Shields is proud to be the sponsor of the 145-pound award presentations. Presenting the Class 3A awards at 145 is Coach Nate Moore. In 8th place, Tanner Higgins of Lewis Central. 7th place, Logan Adamson, Bettendorf. 6th place, Brandon Mills, Fort Dodge. 5th place, Carson Martinson, Southeast Polk. 4th place, Devin Streef, North Scott Eldridge. 3rd place, Ben Monroe, Ankeny Centennial. 2nd place, Sam Callum, Ankeny. And your Class 3A 145-pound champion from Iowa City West, Graham Gambrall.